Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to the Valley Cast. My goodness gracious. You guys need to know something here. We don't normally record this show at the time that we are currently recording it. This is like 6 p.m. on a Friday. Some people had an actual full work day and are jumping right back into the work seat and doing some more work.
And how are things at the office, Steve?
Don't feel like watching movies, so I'll watch people guess them instead. I don't know how it goes, I think it starts with your show.
Anyway, guys, welcome to the show. I can't even remember. I wasn't on the last one, I think.
No,
you were an absentee boy.
Yeah.
we took bets on what the non-existent Trump mugshot would look like.
Yeah.
Oh man,
We pretty much all got it right in the one picture that did appear. I would say.
that picture
wasn't
looks
much.
really funny. He's like looking directly into the lens,
He's a sad boy.
and it's like, what are you thinking, dude? What are you thinking?
Meh. It's everything that happened was exactly what I thought would happen, and everything that's happening is exactly what I thought would happen, and nothing's gonna change for a while.
Yeah. Well, at least there is some sort of visual of like a crime doesn't pay kind of thing going on. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
So
It's
guys,
six Friday night. Yeah, it's Friday night, guys.
listen,
crazy.
it's Friday night. Let's put our hair down. Let's let our hair down.
Dance it up.
And this isn't the morning. We don't have a whole day ahead of us. It's time to take our pants off, loosen the belt, remove your shoes, take your socks off, remove your medical
Your sweaty
Socks.
end of day clothes. Ugh.
Right.
Take
It's-
off your
Stewing in yourself.
garter belt that kept the medical compression socks on.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and take off your outer.
Unlace the corset.
Unlace the corset. That's right.
Cast. Take the cast.
Take off the cast. It's time for that. That leg's healed.
Take off your Friday cast.
Take off your Friday
Got
cast.
that right. Yeah. So, guys, this week the Mario Brother movie came out. Are you guys gonna go see it, Joseph?
I saw it.
You saw it. And
saw it.
Elliot, are you gonna see it?
I have tickets. I'm seeing it next week.
Elliot, do you mind if Joe and I talk about it?
Can you not spoil it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. There's not a lot to spoil.
Can I say, Joe, that I was really scared?
Here, I'll
Well,
just
you
you guys.
I was scared going into this movie because I love Mario so much, and I'm such a Nintendo lover at heart.
Oh, and you were trying to work through your trauma from previous Mario iterations.
Well, and not just that. Like there had been a lot of reviews that were popping up from critics saying that it was like awful and like,
no, it wasn't awful. It's very cute. It's cute and fine.
dude, that's exactly what I felt like. I was like, oh, it's cute and fine.
It's cute and fine.
Yeah.
And quite honestly,
Good.
like without even look,
It's pretty cool, actually.
it's cute and fine.
It's cute and fine.
It's very clever with how it appeals
Sure.
to old school Nintendo nerds in the sense that there are like a billion references and Easter eggs
a billion.
that fly over the head of even I would say casual or even like slightly above casual Mario fans, where if like you don't
Oh,
know
sure.
some history, you're missing some shit. Otherwise, it's a movie for kids. It's
It
a
is
kids movie.
definitely a kids movie.
Yeah.
That movie is meant to appeal to a generation of kids that want Mario things forever after this.
I'm gonna go and just
Yeah.
cancel the tickets.
No,
No, I
you'll
wouldn't do
enjoy it. You'll enjoy it.
I didn't
Like,
know
no,
it
you
was
know
a
why?
children's movie. I didn't know it was a
You know
children's.
why though? It'll be a good time still, Elliot. Because it's
I do
cute
know.
and it's
And
And it's
fine. There are some Jack Black as Bowser moments where like
that were great.
they're great and they're
Jack
almost
Black
like
playing Bowser is perfect.
yeah, and they go a direction with it that it was a little bit of a curveball. Like I was
agree.
like, oh,
I agree, but it makes so much sense and I love
I'll
it.
mute it. Don't tell me
no,
anymore.
we're good.
I'm excited.
No, we're good. We don't have to say it anymore. It's cute and fine. Every
cute and
voice cast
fine.
member is fine. it's a beautifully like rendered world. It's really, really
gorgeous.
fun to look at.
It's a gorgeous movie.
The Mario Kart
Oh.
stuff is, if you're a huge Mario Kart fan, you're just throwing
You're in
ropes
heaven.
everywhere.
Yeah, it almost pleased
I
me
was
more
just
than
playing-
the ride did.
I was just playing Mario Kart a moment ago.
So you're gonna be a happy
Yeah.
boy throwing ropes. I will say, I'll give you my
What?
favorite. I'll give you my
Why
favorite
would you say
character.
that? Why would you say that at the end? That's so gross.
So gross.
That's
My
so gross.
favorite character. Did you have a favorite character, Steve? Because I did.
I haven't thought about it.
My favorite character was Donkey Kong. Seth
Yeah,
Rogen as Donkey Kong was
Nice.
great, and I think
Yeah.
they nailed that. Just like that relationship, I really liked the Donkey Kong.
yeah. It's
I'm
perfect.
excited.
It
I'm
almost feel I at one moment during the movie, I was sitting in the theater watching what was happening. Maybe we were like halfway into the movie, and I was like, "What if I'm just watching an AI representation of like what my brain is want?" Because it's like it's so weird that we're seeing like a Mario movie now like this. It took this long to make like an animated Pixar style Mario movie. It just feels like it was like for a moment I felt like, is this even real? Like, am I watching something that
Did you
like
become dissociated, Steve? Did
just
you,
for like a second? Yeah.
you may have died for a moment.
Can you go? Can you
You're
elaborate?
you're my favorite doctor. I love when I see you once every 3 months.
Can you elaborate on that?
You might have died for a second.
see you in February.
That's yeah.
Yeah, I just like really had this really strange moment of like, what am I even watching? Like, I'm seeing Peach and Mario like talking in a big on the big screen with all this like beautiful Mario shit everywhere, and it's like a fucking fever dream. It's like a candy dream, like bonkers time. The whole movie is, and like at one point I was just like, yeah, I dissociated. I think a little.
You died,
And it's
yeah.
cute and fun. And if I had one
Your soul left
criticism,
your body.
if I had one, your
next
soul
time.
left your body, and it theater hopped over to John
Yeah,
Wick
your
4.
soul, everybody. And I'll see it.
Yeah, it's soul left. Soul left. All right.
Your soul was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go check out John Wick 4. I'll be back."
I want your one
Yep.
complaint.
My one
Yeah,
complaint
what's
is that I, because it's cute and fine, I just wish it was edgier. Like it truly was like the visuals and the Easter eggs were made for our age. The movie was made for 8-year-olds, and I just wish there was just a little bit more edge to it. They could have adulted it up just a tiny
Yeah,
bit.
it's like
Interesting.
straight up a Minions movie. Like it's
But-
a Minions movie.
but not as like I would contend there's more clever comedy in a
yeah, there is more clever comedy, but I wonder if that comes from like improv or something more than
I
the
think it
writing.
might come from Japan going, let's
Yeah.
just be safe with this and keep it.
Yeah.
Just do this.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, Joe. It is very much a children's movie. I think another complaint I had was just kind of like the speed at which things happen, but I know it's not for us. And I think kids, they probably did test screenings with kids with this movie, and they were like, oh, this needs, like, the kids were bored during this part, they're bored during this part, they're bored during this part. Let's cut all this out and just
You
make
think it was like too fast paced?
I thought it was a little too fast.
I thought
like
it
the
was
story.
one of the slowest movies I've seen.
What, really?
Yeah.
Well,
That's
it looks
so
like I
funny.
will let everyone know next week. what
Yep.
the
Now
truth
we
of the
will.
matter
Now
is.
we will shut up. Last thing that I will say that will give you hope, because Elliot, I feel like this might sound like it was negative. It was fun. I enjoyed it. It's Jackson's favorite movie. He just said it's
Wow.
his favorite movie.
I'm seeing it with my nephews on Sunday, and I'm really excited. I haven't seen a movie with them since Coco, and my nephew was terrified of that movie. So they're at an age now where there's nothing that will terrify them in this movie, and if it does, I think there's a problem.
That's more of it, yeah.
You know what I mean? Anyway, but yeah, I love it. I really did enjoy it. I came out of that movie going like, man, that was cute as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, that was so cute and then beautiful, and it looked like candy I want to eat.
Would you say, would you guys prefer Mario over, let's say, Paddington?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What?
I've never
What's the
seen
question?
Paddington Bear. Would you prefer Paddington Bear or Mario?
I mean, Paddington 2 is one of the greatest cinematic achievements ever put to film. So it's hard to beat that.
The Paddington movies are pretty great, but
I thought Steve, didn't you just say Mario over Paddington?
yeah, I'm saying the Paddington movies are great, but Mario is like has a special place in my heart.
I mean, Mario's great, but the movie's not anywhere near as good as Paddington 2.
I agree. I don't think it
I didn't
is
mean
either.
to start it. I wasn't trying to start. I wasn't trying
Yeah,
to start.
no,
you did.
No,
You
shut
did.
Up.
I'm
No,
sorry.
Shut up.
I'm
for a
sorry.
second.
I'm sorry.
I don't
I'm
think
sorry.
that it's. No, I really do love the Paddington movies, but I think they're different movies completely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're talking about letting our hair down and, you know, going out to clubbing, listening to some
Relax.
music and stuff like that. Well, in letting my hair down this week at React, where I work, I do a lot of like music-based kind of nostalgia trips, which we've talked about before. I did the Weezer video and I did a Limp Bizkit video that did pretty well.
Nice.
But I did a Try Not to Rock video this week. I helped produce that, and I made sure it was a Try Not to Rock 90s, and it was just kind of like going back and me being able to kind of like cherry pick tracks that I grew up with.
This is like your wheelhouse.
To a point, but it just like let me go on a little nostalgia trip. But what I nostalgia tripped and fell into, which I highly suggest you guys go back or at least make a playlist and just exist in it for a bit, because it is like kind of re-energized me, because I think we forget to listen to music in these days of like podcasts and sadness and news. And if you just go back and listen to music, it can just kind of like pump you up. But kind of like the industrial side of nu metal of the late 2000s. I'm talking Rob Zombie. I'm talking Power Man 5000, Static X.
Wow.
Go Fall.
What was the other zombie? There was Rob Zombie, and then there was the other one. What was the other one?
His brother was in Power Man 5000.
Yeah.
When Worlds Collide is a specific song that I'm talking about.
What about Danzig? Does Danzig land in there?
Danny's a little too a different type of metal, but it's still good. But I'm kind of talking like that Rage Against the Machine, pre like Linkin Park taking it on the nu metal mantle. There's just some really good stuff in there. Super Beast and Dragula by Rob Zombie are so much fun. I just highly suggest.
Dragula is a great song, but man, I really don't like that genre at all.
Oh, you have to go back. It's so much fun.
Dude, I remember being like pretty... I mean, I was a music nerd too. I was like, if it's not Morrissey and poetry, I don't want to hear it. But
he's singing about the Dragula. Come on.
Yeah, but that whole generation, I don't know if I would connect Rob Zombie to like, well, maybe I would, like System of a Down. I wouldn't connect Rob Zombie to System of a Down, but I would connect them to like a Power Man 5000 and like those kind of bands.
I'm gonna make a playlist for you.
Oh, what about, who was the guy that did Firestarter?
Oh, that's Prodigy, but that's more like techno rock.
Yeah,
but also right. So good. Anyways, I've had a very fun time going, like, tripping and falling down that, and then going back even a little bit farther into like the grunge alternative era and like re-listening to Stone Temple Pilots and Sex Type Thing.
Love that.
And it just like there's just this like guttural growl when it comes to from like 94 through early 2000 and some of these riffs, and it's just like it just gets you kind of bouncing like this. It's not headbanging, but it's just like it's like your body gets possessed and it just kind of makes it bounce.
So what you're saying, Joe, is that you took a grunge plunge.
It's where it started, but then I swam and I went over into the nu metal deep end.
Do you guys know what this one? Have you guys heard this one? That's a little. That's a
somebody get me on my birthday.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's like a millennial. It's like a geriatric millennial mating call. You can do that.
I am scooting.
Wait. Here. Do it again. You're in the forest. This is a clearing. I need you to do your call.
I am running like a road that somebody got me.
Wait, let me try one. I am.
That's a good TikTok. I'm not
Did
gonna
you
make.
guys do you guys use Spotify?
Yeah, all the time, every
Love
day.
it. It's
I
one of the
love
few things that I
Spotify.
pay for that is like.
Yeah.
I think there's a list of 2 now. It used to be just the one thing that I pay for on a monthly basis that is worth it no matter what is AAA, but now it's AAA and Spotify.
I agree, dude. Spotify is great. They it's where all my music stuff happens. Did you guys see their AI DJ feature?
Yes, I wasn't impressed by it, but I was interested.
I
Maybe it'll
wasn't
get better.
super impressed by it either initially, but I gave it the benefit of the doubt and have been using it for like a week now.
Do you do the daily mixes? Do you just like, because I'll do that and that's just fine.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, I
roughly the
felt
same thing.
right. It felt like it wasn't too much different than having like, oh, here's a daily mix or something for sure. But I wanted to see what was the deal with it. Like, why was it different than that? Because you're right, that's just fine, And I have my playlists that I use, and you can enhance your playlists to like add music that is like what's in your playlist. And I feel like that was as good as this AI thing was too. But I used it for like a week, and I think it's like it's starting to understand me better now. Like I think you really need to give it time to like learn what you like and what you don't like. It almost like is like the TikTok algorithm. Yeah, it's a little. I know it takes a little patience, but
Just like the TikTok,
it's studying us.
it is
just like
it
the
is- it
TikTok
is.
algorithm. After a few weeks, it starts feeding you just so much white supremacy.
Yeah,
indoctrination.
exactly. Yeah.
It's just
wake
crazy all
up.
3 of us get those videos. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wake up, it hits me with a little bit of Nora Jones, and then it followed up with Hitler's speech. One.
Excerpts from Mein Kampf.
Volumes 1.
But it was funny because on April 1st, they if you used the AI DJ, I don't know, I didn't hear anybody talking about this. It was pretty good though, but if you use the AI DJ on April Fools, it would go like, because when you use it now, it goes, "Hey, I'm your AI DJ." It's like literally an AI like automated thing, and it's like, I'm gonna put together a list of stuff that you were really into last year. So here you go. And that's like what it ends up being. But I guess on like April Fools, it was like, here's a song from 1100 years ago. And it was like, it's like Gregorian like chanting.
Damn it. It's not allowed to be funnier than everybody.
I know, it was so good. It was great. I loved it.
Not okay.
Elliot, have you learned any scary new things in your studies recently about the human condition?
I was reading about how much they thought masturbation was bad for you earlier today. And,
Whoa, what's the
how much
current?
it caused.
Yeah, what's the current research into that?
The current research is they say go hog wild. They actually say don't stop now. And if you anytime
Even when you're
taking a
finished.
break, don't go more than 10 minutes. Yeah, without
Don't stop.
and you just don't stop. And they say that's the healthiest thing. But I was reading about neurasthenia, which is this old symptom in the late 1800s where they thought that one was caused if you masturbated too much, and then there's a neurosis that was part of if you were prude. If you weren't having enough sex, or if you were called, you learned a new term, which is coitus interruptus.
I've heard that.
Yeah, and that's when you don't finish inside the person you interrupt.
And so back in the day, they would say, like, the doctor would be like, all right, let's check your reflexes. Let's see under your tongue here. Check your tonsils.
Don't stop
And
masturbating.
Have you been masturbating? Do you masturbate?
Don't stop for yeah.
Like, first of all, yeah, like, do you even? And some people be like, no, I don't do it. And the doctor's
They
like,
all say
I'm
no.
gonna write you a prescription to go ahead and do it.
Which,
Yep.
That's crazy. They had to like tell
at the risk
people to
of
jack
knowing,
off.
at the risk of like knowing that this is the answer, anyways. But was it back then all like purity based morality nonsense, or was there some faux like medicinal like physiological and mental connections that they mistakenly made when they were telling people not to do it, or was it all just based back with like religion and sin?
I think it's all of it. It was a little bit of both. That's my understanding. But it was like it was so repressed, and it was the Victorian era, so like you just didn't talk about any of that stuff. Like it was especially if you were a woman, then you couldn't talk about it. And then women were the ones that started to have hysteria. And then Freud and his gang came along and were like, something's going on where they're so pent up that they're having physical symptoms, and they didn't understand the connection between the body and the brain.
Wow.
The body and mind. And then they were like, oh, and then that's what we were talking about, the locomotive thing, where they thought maybe they were freaking out because of the new locomotives that were too loud. And then they thought it was masturbating, and then they thought condom use was part of it. And then eventually they landed on some sexual abuse as a child that then happened later. So it's very fun.
And so what about masturbating too much? Is that like a thing?
Now, no, do it all the time. Don't
It's
stop.
literally do
you
it
can
all the
ask
time.
It's my answer's not going to change. That all the research is in, and you are not allowed to stop.
Okay, but is there? I would still contend there's probably a but in there. But
No,
and
come on now.
that
Keep it
but
simple.
is there has to be, the research has to say like go to town, but it has to be like there's probably but don't do it to too much porn.
Well, yeah, because like
I assume, yeah. I think the porn thing. I would assume that's too.
Like when they're saying go hog wild on your hog wild, they're saying like, but don't be looking at porn all the time because that's bad.
they're saying,
Well, and I
yeah.
should clarify. No one says No one says masturbate all the time. I was making that up.
Well, they're saying,
But they're not saying don't.
There are doctors that
No, they're not
say
saying don't.
masturbating it promotes prostate health, and there are also psychological benefits to the release of the dopamine, all the nice things that happen when you jack off, when you come out.
Yeah, but all these doctors are connected to big wipe business.
Oh yeah.
All of them. All these doctors are connected to big wipe business. They're all deep in the pockets of wet wipes.
Big Kleenex.
Big Kleenex. Big clean.
Big clean.
Big clean. Oh my
Big
God.
clean. Watch out.
Yeah, I've heard. Obviously addictions are a different thing. Like there are people who have an addiction to porn or that kind of thing. That's a whole different ball game.
Kevin. Yeah, Kevin.
Like Kevin, yeah.
That's why we never let him share his screen on the podcast.
That's
Exactly.
right. You never know what the fuck he's looking at. Guys, I have been doing a rewatch of a television program called The Venture Brothers,
Oh, fun.
which I think, and I will declare, is one of the greatest television series of all time.
I don't. You're
Venture
probably
Brothers?
not. Have you never, Elliot?
No, never. I don't know what this is.
The Venture Brothers. It was an Adult Swim show, which is still alive. They're coming out with a movie that's going to end the whole thing. But it's been going since, like, I don't know, 2009 or something like that. Maybe even earlier. But it's like one of the most intelligent, well-written, ridiculous, hilarious. It's just a really, really good show. You have to get through like the first 3 or 4 episodes because they're kind of getting their footing. But it becomes about as awesome as Futurama is. In a lot of the nerdy
I see.
comedy
Okay.
ways, but it's so funny, it's so good, it's just like ridiculous. I highly recommend this show, you guys.
Very good. This is one of those shows that, like, when I was in college, it would like come up on Adult Swim and stuff in that time zone where it was very hard to catch. And then you'd be like, "What is this?" Free streaming era, so it was really easy to miss. But it's just one of those like Adult Swim, super smart, snarky genre shows. Really spy genre.
Yeah, it's a take on the like Johnny Quest kind of like cartoon,
Party Boys, kind of a little
Party
bit, maybe.
Boys world of like, yeah, like the cartoon world of these like weird characters that would go on adventures, but it's like now about them as adults and like how their lives were affected by that. It's really cool. And there's also
So
like there's like a superhero like aspect of the show, and then there's like a super villain part of the show, and there's like guilds where they have to like obey all these rules to be like arch enemies to people and things like that. It's really like funny. It's a good take on the superhero genre.
If that movie is coming out, I'm calling it right now because they're perfect for it. They will be skins in Fortnite.
Oh, I would love it. I would love it. At least Brock Sampson. We need Brock in Fortnite.
Yeah. Yep.
I thought the show you guys were going to be obsessing over was Netflix's Love is Blind.
What's that? Oh, that's the one where they don't get to see each other. They get to know each other. Is that still a good show?
No, never has been. Never will be. That show.
I remember watching the first
every episode.
I watched the first like season maybe and was like, okay, I get it.
Bad show, bad people, but fun to watch.
Bad show, bad people, but hell of a watch. What are you watching right now, Elliot? Literally that?
Yeah, I was trying to think what I was watching.
Are you watching Ted Lasso? You're watching Ted Lasso.
We are watching Ted Lasso. Boy, isn't it just the sweetest? Isn't he just the sweetest?
What
are we gonna do with him?
I'm so worried about Ted Lasso all the time. The show is he is the sweetest, but I'm not only worried about him. The show, I cry at the end of that show every single time. It leaves me feeling not good every single time. I'm watching a man float through life in fucking immense pain, trying to put a smile on his face for everybody, and it's so hard but beautiful to watch at the same time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, that sounds
exactly
grueling.
like Love is Blind. That's how I feel when I walk away crying.
That honestly sounds so grueling to me.
No, but it's so good.
Sweet though. It's a warming show.
I
Good
know.
show.
Everyone I know loves that show. So that says something.
It's
It's
got nothing to
rare
do
when
with
everyone
soccer.
I know loves it. Loves a show like that. Joe, I was telling Elliot before we started the show that I've been playing this Mario game called Super Mario 3D World.
I know of. I've never partook.
So I had also never partook, and after visiting Nintendo Land, I was like reinvigorated with my love of Mario, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna catch up on the Mario games I didn't play. Like I've played all the big major ones, like that one that just came out where he was like he could be a T-Rex and shit.
Oh yeah.
I played that one, but I never played Mario.
You played Mario Odyssey, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. But I never played Mario 3D World, and I love it. It's a wonderful co-op game. Speaking of someone with a family, you can play with up to 4 people at a time, and it's like a 4-player Mario extravaganza, and it's so fucking fun, dude. It's so fun.
You're digging. Okay.
I highly recommend it. Yeah, it's a good co-op, fun to play, get super whatever inebriated on the things that you like to do, have a glass of wine or whatever, and play some Mario Brothers.
Glass of wine.
Have a glass of wine with your kids.
Play it buck naked. It's great. It's a perfect
Yeah.
co-op.
Yeah.
It's
Get
the best.
naked. What was the thing we said?
Rob Zombie.
In the beginning of the show, we told people to take their shoes off, and what else? Take their cast off.
Take your Friday cast off.
Take your cast off. Have some wine with your kids.
Do it. Have some wine. Have a drink or two with your kids. You know what I'm saying?
You guys got
We're,
any big weekend plans?
It's Easter, dog.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Let me go dig around the dirt and see if I can find the Easter's dirty droppings.
Man,
Easter bunny.
It's we've talked about it before.
Sometimes you break an egg open and find a dollar bill, right, Joe?
I hate it so much.
Do you do that? You do the ones that have like
Yeah.
a dollar in them? Yeah, that's nice.
Becomes a great fight every time. It's fun. It's great. It's so much fun. So
And
much fun.
What do you remember learning about Easter more than anything as an adult? Did you appreciate having Easter times with your family?
Yes.
As a kid?
Yeah.
No, I remember Easter egg hunt. Are we good?
Wait, you cut out for like a second.
we good?
You
we
said,
good? We good?
I
You
said,
started
you
saying some
we all good?
sacrilegious stuff, and then you
Yeah.
started cutting out.
You
No,
started talking
actually,
in
I was saying-
tongues.
I was saying the opposite of sacrilegious stuff. I said I'm at the point now where if like the Jesus, the big J, if he ain't infused in the day, it ain't worth it.
Yeah.
Like quite honestly, if there isn't, if there isn't, because otherwise it's like just the most like.
Such a funny way to put it. We're doing something Jesus-y for Easter. Otherwise,
Otherwise, what are we doing here? Like
what's the point?
It's if that's not infused in it a little bit, and in like it's there's nothing to it. It's things shows up and give you candy money, and bye. There's no more. There's no moral teachings. There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. Nothing.
So it's a waste of everyone's time, is what you're saying.
So if you turn it into like a big family day, you make an event, you have a tradition or something, great. If you got the Jesus in it, great. But if you don't, it's wake up, watch them find some candy and some money maybe, and then like they learn nothing, and then they eat that candy.
And that's it.
And then in the middle of summer, your son goes, Easter's my second favorite holiday. And you go, why?
And then you say why, and they go, 'cause chocolate.
Exactly.
And nothing else.
Yep.
Easter's my second favorite.
My first is Arbor Day.
I've got such a bad taste in my mouth for this fucking holiday, and it's our fault because we just never really established. We used to like go and hang out with a family friend, and there was a big dinner, and that was great for a few years. But when there's not that because of the pandemic, it's just like, yep.
Also, maybe this is a hot take, but I think Easter candy is the worst of all the holiday candy.
Peeps suck.
Peeps suck.
Peeps suck for
the
sure.
The chalk fucking eggs suck.
I like the heart-shaped sweet tarts, but the other hearts I'm not a fan of. Those little chalky hearts.
I think
those come in the boxes.
Yeah,
you're talking Valentine's Day now.
I switched over to Valentine's Day because that's how little I think.
Valentine's Day has better candy than Easter.
Yep, I got it. I completely mixed up the holidays.
Right?
Yeah.
It's
Man,
hard.
you start talking about Jesus, you lose everything with Easter. That's crazy, right, Joe?
Well, the Jesus part of Valentine's Day has always been confusing to me.
Awkward. It's a little awkward.
Yeah, because my parents would make me go on that Jesus date that they set up. When you
is a guy named Jesus?
Yeah, I had to go on a date with this with someone who was Jesus every Valentine's Day.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Anyway,
thanks, man.
Thanks.
Do you guys want to do a Hollywood minute here, or do you have anything else you want to talk about?
I don't know if we've ever wanted to do a Hollywood minute. Have you?
Yeah.
Have you ever wanted to?
Yeah, I'm certainly going to.
I'm trying to think if
I'm definitely gonna.
That's so funny.
What are you in the? What do you think is gonna be happening? You guys want Barbie or the Oppenheimer?
Oh, Oppenheimer. I mean, Barbie looks like it's gonna be the Brady Bunch movie.
I feel bad because everybody's so excited for it. Even people like that, didn't grow up with Barbie. They see it and they're super pumped. And I see it and I'm kind of like, okay.
It's a meme.
It looks like the Brady Bunch movie.
I thought maybe it'd make me laugh more, but I haven't really laughed at the trailer.
Yeah,
I don't know who they're marketing it for. It's hard.
Oppenheimer looks hilarious because Cillian Murphy is so funny.
I mean, and he's every time he's on screen, I'm giggling.
It looks like a joyous romp that
That guy's a big goofball, and he's gonna. You know what? This one's gonna be bit goofier than any of them.
Well, I'm become Death Destroyer of Worlds.
I made a bomb.
Oh my goodness. Okay, let's get Brock Baker and let's just have him have Goofy do every one of his voices.
That's really funny. People were talking about the whole Chris Pratt Mario voice thing, and like honestly, like it like 3 seconds into the movie, I was like, okay.
Sure. I thought he did
sure.
pretty good. He did, I think, April Fool's where he said he was going to be the voice of Mickey Mouse or something.
That's funny.
Yeah, that was like the first time in a long time that he kind of like
yeah,
out of
had a sense of humor.
defense bubble veil that he's put up. Yeah, like I was like,
what's
oh, there he is.
Joe?
Yeah. I was like, there you are, Peter. and I started like pulling his
you're
cheeks
doing it,
aside,
Peter.
and I found him.
I wonder if it has anything to do with like, you know, the pressures of being a Marvel star and being like right now he's like their Tony Stark kind of, right? Like because it's like there isn't much in the Marvel MCU right now that's as cool as like what it was before Endgame and shit like that. You got our Ant-Mans and Guardians and stuff. I feel like the pressures of being like a popular MCU character.
I think that's part of it, but I have a theory, and I can't remember if I talked to you guys about it or if it was somebody else. But here's my theory on Chris Pratt and why the change happened and why he changed. And it's not a deep theory, and then you guys are like, "Oh yeah, duh, Joe." But I do believe he was on top of the world, and he was one of the most liked people in the planet, and he loved being liked, and it was really like he was just the clown, right? He was like our dude, and Chris Pratt could do no wrong. And then Chris Pratt broke up with his wife, and it was like the perfect relationship that everybody was kind of vicariously living through. And then people saw that and they took sides, and then he got a lot of shit. And I don't remember if like the way he did it was shitty or not. It didn't matter because it was going to be viewed as shitty because people were going to take sides. And then I think people gave the clown a lot of shit, and he was like, what the fuck? And he was really hurt by that. And then he retreated in himself. And
I think most of that
put up walls.
Most of that is probably true, but you left out like the weird right wing stuff. Like
he hid behind whatever walls he hid behind because that was always there. Probably
that's when he lost me. It was like real weird. It was like, what happened to just being like a funny guy and leaving politics out of it?
And that's the thing. I don't think he really ever did go out on a limb and do weird. I think other people said he was doing it more than anything.
He started to like tweet overtly like Christian like stuff, like just being like, you know, praise God or something like that. Things like that. Yeah, but it wasn't like out of control or anything. It was just like he would sometimes post like I'm a religious guy type stuff. But the worst one was that like that voting. Who was that senator that Katy Perry voted for and all the celebrities were voting for that was like against abortion?
It's like a mayoral candidate or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They were all like really vocally like on the side of this person that was like very against abortion and pro-choice, and that was like a weird blip on the
I don't know
radar there. But I always loved him on Parks and Rec. I think he's so funny on that show, and you know, he's fine as Mario, whatever. It is what it is.
Cute
like,
and he's fine.
He's cute and he's fine. But the reason why I brought it up was because there's going to be like AI programs that are going to be like, all right, whose voice do you want do you want Mario to be now? And you just type in like Danny DeVito and then hit play, and you can watch the whole Mario movie with Danny DeVito doing it instead. Like, how crazy is that? Like, that's coming.
Yeah, you just blew my mind because that's super true. You'll be able to put anybody's voice in all the characters in any movie, like on the fly.
Let's get Chris Farley's Shrek back. Let's see what Chris Farley's Shrek would sound like. Play.
Wow. Do you think that will be like captivating to watch? I feel like I would want to mess around with that for 10 minutes, and then I would be like, I don't really want to watch a whole video.
I think you're right. I think you're right, Elliot. I think it's a novelty, kind of like how it was when you could type in whatever you wanted and you'd see the images all blurred together and shit.
Delete the app.
People don't really do that. I mean, there is a huge community of people doing like the super realistic versions of them now, and they're like crazy intricate. But the one where we had access to it, where you could just type in two things and get it, like it's cool. Over. Yeah, I think it's done for in the novelty realm. I think
some cool stuff will come of it. I think. Or some cool and scary stuff will come of it, but I do contend that because there will always be a desire to like connect to people, which is why, again, there'll be people that are like that are only like spewing forth words that were AI generated. Like it may not ever be like it may not be up.
They may not. You're right. It may not be an actual quote or something.
But if it's a person saying, that will always have the ability to overcome and be a little bit more watchable. To
Hopefully,
but maybe not. Who fucking knows?
The uncanny valley is a real thing, and I think people always have that kind of like that animal instinct of being like, this thing in front of me is a human, or this thing I'm looking at is a human, not, but this one doesn't quite look like one. So what's going on here?
That was a very, very succinct description of the uncanny valley.
Thank you, Elliot.
Really
Just
good.
in case some listeners were like, what are you talking about?
This doesn't quite look human. I wonder what's going on here.
Let's take a closer look.
This valley doesn't seem quite canny.
There's something uncanny about it.
Anyway, guys, listen, before we go, I would love to get into what is going on in Hollywood.
I don't believe you do. I don't believe you do.
I love Hollywood
No.
so much.
You son of a bitch.
Guys, Kanye West is being sued over Donda Academy because they allegedly only fed students sushi. That is illegal and weird.
There's a Donda Academy?
Guys, Diddy says he pays Sting
Very
five
good school. Very good school.
very and prestigious. Good luck
Very
getting in.
prestigious.
Good luck getting in. Diddy says he pays Sting $5,000 per day for every breath you take.
I don't believe it.
I don't believe it either. That sounds insane. And Donald Glover confirms they're talking about him returning as Lando. Quote, it just needs to be the right way to do it. What do you think about that?
He's also currently working with President Obama's daughter on some sort of a film project. He's a quite busy gentleman.
Yeah.
Lot going on too in the Tennessee.
Uh-huh. Yeah, let's talk about that with this music.
But next up, we got Tennessee.
It's so scary, authoritarian, wild, man. It's nuts.
What are we going to do, guys?
It's nuts.
My Hollywood moment is not over.
I'm sorry. Can you give me the music?
Wait, no, Tennessee's real bad, but what happened to Wisconsin's real good, if you got
There you go.
attention.
There we go.
When
Joe, you're so good at
God
bringing it back to
closes.
the nice
Real
side.
good. Oh, it's all scary, but it's real good that it didn't do that other thing in Wisconsin and it did the good
Yeah.
thing.
Find what you love and do it, folks, and hold the ones you love close. And finally, Hollywood, my final Hollywood moment, big headline news, big breaking news. Warner Brothers is going to reboot Harry Potter as a series on HBO over 7 seasons, with each season covering a different book.
Wait, they're straight up oh no.
Yeah.
Is it too early? I guess I don't fucking know.
I don't know. I have a feeling they're gonna just start doing multiple of the same projects all the time, and it's gonna be.
I guess it's time to
remakes.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, maybe we could get a little grittier. Some of those kids can die.
Yeah.
Yeah, but some did
But,
die.
I mean, the books can only be so gritty. Yeah.
They can just take liberties now, and people will be like, I'm upset, but it'll still print money.
Interesting. I wonder. Huh? Okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
To each their own.
Anyway, guys, please share your big favorite Hollywood headline in the comments, and share and see if we can get talking about some other headlines that we didn't know or we didn't cover.
I think that was all of them.
Anything else, guys?
Oh no. I'm tired.
Oh no, Elliot didn't sleep last night. I guess.
I didn't sleep last night. I'm tired.
That's so crazy.
Elliot, how many books did you write this week?
0, Joe. Oh man, I'm so far behind. I haven't written a single book. I did get this one that's on PhDs though. That's fun.
I saw that tweet. Does that mean you're like trying to write your?
Yeah, the next 2 classes are dissertation development.
Wow. Do you know
Oh, you're
how
back. I
deep
think
into
you're back.
that are you? Are you just getting started?
Yeah, just started it. So 2 more semesters and then 2 years of clock.
Are you
of writing the
scared?
Dissertation. A little bit, because I don't know what I'm writing on yet. So I have to figure that out. In the
For
next
2
year.
years.
You're
What
a good
happens if like
writer,
you
though,
finish?
Elliot?
Fuck. What if you write? Like, what if you finish your dissertation in like the first month? What are you gonna do?
I hope. Yeah. Then supposedly you can, but they're like it's basically impossible
Wow.
to do that. But
Maybe you'll go to
like,
Disneyland though if you do
like-
that.
Yeah, I'll ask.
Dude,
Maybe.
you're gonna have to fight your fucking YouTube brain so hard. 2
I
years
know
of a
that's what I'm saying.
2 years of a project.
I was like, I gotta get this done at 6 a.m. I gotta get this done at 6 a.m. I gotta do another one.
That's so crazy, dude. Do you know what you want to write about yet?
No idea. Yeah, I gotta figure it out. That's what part of that book stuff is like you have to do all this brainstorming stuff, and then I
You should do it on
have all these
masturbating.
ideas, and that's actually a pretty good idea. Yeah.
And how you should never stop.
Or
Yeah,
do
masturbation
or,
celebration.
or if you die in a fire, you go straight to hell.
Yeah, that is true. A lot of people don't know that.
That's still one of the funniest things.
Does that mean if you die
By Elliot
underwater, you
Morgan.
go to heaven?
I had my
Automatically?
dissertation on how if you die, if you drown, if you die, if you die in a fire, you go to hell, but if you drown, you go to heaven.
Thank you.
Dr.
Thank you for
Elliot
coming
Morgan.
to
Thank
my
Thank you
talk.
for coming.
Thank you for listening to my ed
Like
talk.
people in suits and dresses and
My
stuff.
ed talk. Thank you for
All
coming to
right.
my ed talk.
Guys,
Okay,
thank you so
everybody.
much for listening to
Real
the
fun.
show. We appreciate everyone. Thank you for your time, and we hope you enjoyed our conversation today.
Peace
Oh,
out.
Anna Laurie and I have started doing big time Anna Laurie, star of Gotham Knights, a new TV show on the CW about Batman or some shit. Comes out Tuesdays or something. And
Wait, she in it?
she's in it.
Cool.
Yeah. She's in it. She's a main character and she's all up in that
Very
show.
cool.
She was in Gotham
Gotham City.
You know what? You know what's funny about that? You know what's funny?
Gotham
I'm nothing but
City.
happy for her.
Me too, man.
However, she's gonna blow up.
Wish
She can
you
get
were
real
Batgirl.
big. She can be super, super
she's
famous.
totally gonna blow up.
And then one day she's gonna call us and she's gonna go, "Hey, will you take that video off the internet where Joe's just farting around me the whole time?"
Dude, I brought that up to her recently, and she was like, she's a good sport, though. She understands why it's funny, but she doesn't think it's funny at all.
I can relate to that when it comes to a lot of the things we've done together.
You
understand
understand
what she
why
means.
it's funny.
I
But
understand why
it's
it's
not
funny.
funny to you at all.
Not fun at all.
But she and I have started up a show we started on the Valleyfolk Twitch channel called Hey, Is This You? And it's a TikTok series where we bring a bunch of TikToks and go like, "Hey Anna, is this you?" And she goes, "Hey Steve, is this you?" And it's just a bunch of weird. It's a fun, good time. We did it today, and we're gonna start doing it Fridays again at like
fun.
10:30 in the morning. And yeah, and
Nice.
Anna's so funny, and it's a great time, and it's a hoot and a holler. So if you're around on those Friday mornings and you want to listen to Anna and I talk about weird shit, come to twitch.tv/thevalleyfolk.
I only watch things that are a hoot and a holler, not things that are just a hoot or a holler.
Yeah,
so that
was
is great.
a holler. That movie was a holler, but not a hoot.
Yep.
All right. Well, take care, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
If you